بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم افتح لنا فتوح العارفين وفقنا توفيق الصالحين. اللهم علمنا بالقرآن وذكر الحكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يقربنا منك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. اللهم أعذنا من شرور أنفسنا من سيئات أعمالنا أصلح لنا شأنه كله لا إله إلا أنت استغفرك وأتوب إليك. Intention of the student of knowledge by Imam al-Haddad. نويت التعلم والتعليم والنفع والانتفاع تذكر وتذكيره والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على تمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم ودعا على الهدى دعاة الخير ابتغاء وجه الله مرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى. Alhamdulillah, so welcome to lesson 17. I'm going to make it a short lesson, inshallah. You can take this week to, if you haven't memorized these recitations or du'as, inshallah, you can take the time to memorize them. And so the first one, some of them you may already know. So these are some of the recommended dhikrs. So in sajda, you can do, it's recommended to do some tasbih. So the actual sajda is required, right? It's fard. But within the sajda, to do any kind of tasbih, subhan, like here is, and this is from the commentary of the Risala of Ibn Abi Zayd al-Qayrawani. Subhana Rabbi zalamtu nafsi wa amiltu su'an faghfir li. Or any tasbihs, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Some of the scholars recommend that. An odd number of times when one's first getting back on the path. So, you can do Subhana Rabbil A'la. You just want to be careful about not doing the same one over and over again without changing form. So you do want to change the form on occasion. And it's also recommended to do any dua in sajda. But it's... so you can do any dua, but it's not recommended to do Quran. That's, unless it's dua, it would be okay. But, the sajda is not a place for the Quran unless it's a dua, then that's okay. And it's also recommended to do dua in between sittings. There's, Reflections of Pearls also has good dua, so if you want to take some from there. In one of the madhahibs, actually, they require that one does dua in between the sittings. It should be a short dua, and there is one that's been narrated in a hadith. Inshallah, if anybody wants that, I can post that. So it's, alhamdulillah, especially when one is having a good prayer, one wants to make as much dua and spiritually cash in on that time. So that's really important to do that. And then the dua of qunut. So the Malikis, as to some of the other madhahib, at least one other madhab, in the Maliki, it's recommended in the second rak'ah of the subh prayer, which is the obligatory dawn prayer, before going into ruku'. And there's several recommendations. It's, and one of them is the form, and one of them is doing it silently, and another one is doing it before going into ruku'. If you miss it and you've gone into ruku', then don't go back, but do your ruku', and then when you come back up, you say, after Sami'allahu liman hamidah, Allahumma rabbana wa lakal hamd, then you do it then. So, but but it's recommended to do it before the ruku. And this is the form, the words that I'm giving you are the ones that were recommended. This wording is recommended. Qunut means means dua. Actually, qunut has many different meanings, and here the meaning is dua. So, Allahumma inna nasta'inuka wa nastaghfiruka wa nu'minu bika wa natawakkalu alayk. ونخنع لك ونخلع ونترك من يكفر بك اللهم إياك نعبد ولك نصلي ونسجد وإليك نسعى ونحفد with the dal نرجو رحمتك ونخاف عذابك إن عذابك الجد بالكافرين ملحق. So Allahumma inna nasta'inuka wa nastaghfiruka wa nu'minu bika wa natawakkalu alayka wa nakhna'u laka wa nakhla'u wa natruku man yakfuru bik. Allahumma iyyaka na'budu wa laka nusalli wa nasjudu wa laka nusalli wa nasjudu. What there should be wa ilayka. Sorry, my mistake. Wa ilayka. Wa ilayka nas'a wa nahfidu. This is the dal. Narju rahmataka wa nakhafu adhabak. Inna adhabaka al-jidda bil kafirina mulhiq. So again, any dua suffices. This is the recommended wording. And then the wording of the tashahhud. Oops. See if I can get the wording back. And one thing about the dua qunut I just wanted to mention, it's a small point. If you see where my pointer is, وَنَتَوَكَّلُ, I added a U here. Because if you stop, the Arabs always stop on a sukun. So if you stop, you would say bika وَنَتَوَكَّلُ وَنَتَوَكَّلُ عَلَيْكَ. Like you would, wherever you stop, and Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Allahumma aftah lana futuha al-arifin wafiqna tawfiq al-salihin. Allahumma alimna bil-Quran wa dhikr al-hakim. Allahumma alimna ma yanfa'una wa anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilman yuqarribuna minka bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta تذكر التذكير والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على تمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وادعو على الهدى ذات الخير ابتغاء وجه الله مرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى. So welcome to lesson 17. Inshallah, I'm going to do a short session today. I just want to go over some of the recitations and the du'as. Inshallah, you can use it to either review your recitations, or if you've memorized another form and you'd like to memorize the more recommended form in the Maliki school, Here's the wording. I actually, again, I mentioned that it's kind of hard for me to type on my Apple in Arabic, so I did at least the transliteration. But if anybody wants me to take a picture of the Arabic and send it to them, they're welcome. So here's some recommended. So they're not required dhikrs and du'as in the prayer. So in the sajda, any kind of tasbih is fine. This is one of the ones that was recommended for the, it's in the Risala of Abi Zayd al-Qayrawani, Subhanaka Rabbi zalamtu nafsi wa amiltu su'an faghfirli. So you have tasbih, you can say, you can also do the supplication of one of the prophets, Sayyidina Yunus, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin, and that's mentioned in the Quran. And some of the scholars actually, in some of the books of Islamic character, and they mention that to do this, the tasbih of Sayyidina Yunus, an odd number of times when one's first getting back on the path of Islam. So, or any other tasbih. It's good to, you want to every so often change the wording that you're doing. So not do the same wording all the time and the same number all the time. Also, it is recommended to do any dua in sajda as well as during the sitting in between sajda. So the first one is tasbih, right? And it's the second recommendation is to do any dua aside from tasbih. I mean, faghfirli has tasbih. Subhanaka Rabbi zalamtu nafsi wa amiltu su'an faghfirli. So forgive me. So that has dua in it. Any dua. One would not do Quran in sajda. If it's a dua from the Quran, that's okay. But otherwise, it's sajda is not a place for Quran recitation. So again, these are recommendations. If you want to do another form, it's completely fine. And then the next thing I wanted to mention is the dua of qunut. Qunut, one of the meanings of qunut is dua. Qunut has many different meanings. So one of them is dua. So any dua suffices. This is the recommended form. So, in the different madhahib, they'll have one form recommended over the other. And this is based on hadith and other, it's, has to do with, goes back to usul al-fiqh. So, it is recommended in the second rak'ah. So the Malikis will say in the second rak'ah of the subh, so the obligatory prayer, before going into ruku'. So if you miss it, before going into ruku', because one's not used to doing dua before ruku', you can do it after ruku' as well. But if you start going into ruku', once your hands are close to the knees, then you don't go back, because this is a recommended act, so one do not go back for a recommended act. You just do your ruku' and then come back up, say Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana wa lakal hamd, and then hamdan kathiran tayyiban mubarakan fi, if you say that, and then do the dua. And the recommended form, and again it's not required, is Allahumma inna nasta'inuka wa nastaghfiruka wa nu'minu bika wa natawakkalu alayka ونخنع لك ونخلع ونترك من يكفر بك اللهم إياك نعبد ولك نصلي ونسجد وإليك نسعى ونحفد, that's with the dal, نحفد نرجو رحمتك ونخاف عذابك إن عذابك الجد بالكافرين ملحق, and in a narration ملحق. I think the stronger one's the one that is not in the parentheses. So I'll say it again. Allahumma means, oh Allah, inna nasta'inuka wa nastaghfiruka ونؤمن بك ونتوكل عليك ونخنع لك ونخلع ونترك من يكفر بك اللهم إياك نعبد ولك نصلي ونسجد وإليك نسعى ونحفد نرجو رحمتك ونخاف عذابك إن عذابك الجد بالكافرين ملحق. And then should do it in odd numbers. So Allahumma inna nasta'inuka wa nastaghfiruka wa nu'minu bika wa natawakkalu alayka wa nakhna'u laka wa nakhla'u wa natruku man yakfuru bik. Allahumma iyyaka na'budu wa laka nusalli wa nasjudu wa ilayka نسعى ونحفد نرجو رحمتك ونخاف عذابك إن عذابك الجد بالكافرين ملحق. But again, any dua suffices. Here the meaning of qunut is dua, and it's a recommendation. So somebody completely left it out. It doesn't require sajda sahu. And the Malikis would only do it in the prayer in the second rak'ah. So, and they have their proofs for that. So this is the dua of qunut, and to do it silently is also a recommendation. So to where so the most it should be to where one can hear oneself. And in general, dua should be done silently, unless there's somebody's teaching or there's another reason for it. One of the reasons for that is that, and I'd asked and I was told that it's more likely to be accepted. And also in one of the commentaries I was reading, they said there's more chance of people showing off. Riya, if one's doing it out loud, like all this, one's just kind of doing it beautifully just for other people, and there's all this showing off in that. So if one does it silently, it's just between you and Allah. Okay, and then the tashahhud, again, this is a form that the Malikis use. If you use another form, that's completely fine. Okay, so it's at-tahiyyatu lillahi, az-zakiyatu lillahi, at-tayyibatu as-salawatu lillahi, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi as-salihin. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. If you add Sayyidina Muhammadan, that's fine. So that's the basic tashahhud. Again, at-tahiyatu lillahi, az-zakiyatu lillahi, at-tayyibatu as-salawatu lillahi, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi as-salihin. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. That's just the basic. And in the first sitting, you can do just the tashahhud, the basic one, this first part. Or you can add the Salat Ibrahimiyya as well. You can, or if you like. There's two opinions on adding the Salat Ibrahimiyya or any kind of prayer on the Prophet ﷺ, the first sitting. I was taught that, the scholars differed. Is it makruh or is it recommended? This is the first sitting. So, but at least do the tashahhud, because the tashahhud is sunnah. Right, and then the wording you do, that's there's difference of opinion. Is the actual wording, is it sunnah or is it recommended? So, meaning this specific wording, is it sunnah or is it recommended? There is difference of opinion about it. So I think he mentioned something in one of the commentaries here. He says that the wording of this tashahhud was narrated from Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab. and he was on the minbar of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he says all the Sahaba were there, and nobody denied this wording. So it's like a mutawatir khabar, like the khabar that hadith that where there's no doubt about it, because there were so many. It says jam'un min sahaba, not all the Sahaba. So bihadrati jam'un min sahaba. So there was a group of Sahaba there, and nobody denied it. But any form that you do, if you don't do this form, it still suffices as the sunnah of actually reciting the tashahhud. So, but this actual wording, because it's such a strong narration, it's or it is it sunnah or is it recommended, this particular wording? That's what there's difference of opinion about, and just because of what I just mentioned about Sayyidina Umar reciting it at the member, this specific wording. Okay, and then if you want additionally, after the tashahhud, if you want to add an additional tashahhud, and it's the second tashahhud, you're basically just affirming. This was given to us when we first started studying. You're affirming your faith again with, you're affirming ashhadu alladhi jaa bihi muhammadun haqqun wa anna al-jannata haqqun وأن النار حق وأن الصراط حق وأن الساعة آتية لا ريب فيه وأن الله يبعث من في القبور. So, I bear witness that what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with, it's true. وَأَنَّ الْجَنَّةَ حَقٌّ, it's true. Jannah is true. And the fire is true. And the sirat is true. وَأَنَّ السَّاعَةَ, and the hour, meaning the day of judgment, آتِيَةُ لا, it's coming. لا ريب فيه. And if one, وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَبْعَثُ مَنْ فِي الْقُبُورِ, and that Allah resurrects from the graves. So it's a way, especially if one does it with presence, it's just a way of renewing one's faith and just affirming that. I'm just changing this A to a Q. And especially since one's in the prayer, if one doesn't do it, again, it's not required. This is an additional tashahhud. So, if you just do this for both the sitting, that's fine. The first one, that's perfectly fine. It's this first one that was narrated by Sayyidina Umar. But we would give him the second one also as an additional tashahhud if anybody wants to do it. I actually do it, alhamdulillah, and it's just a good reminder. Okay, and then the Salat Ibrahimiyya. Again, it's gonna this is taken from the Muwatta of Imam Malik, so it's going to be a little bit different. But if somebody does the other narration, that's a very strong narration. I believe it's in the Sahihain. I think it's the other one is in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, if I'm not mistaken. So this one is Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin, and if anybody adds Sayyidina, that's fine as well. Wa azwajihi wa dhurri. I'm gonna. Well, one recites it every day, but when one's saying it. وذريته كما صليت على إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وأزواجه وذريته. That's a val there. That's why I put a dot. وذريته كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So the reason I put Ali in parentheses is because in some other narration, in one narration they have Al, which means family, but it's not in the other. So you can say it, or you cannot say it. And it's Majid. I actually left out the here. I was trying to do the transliteration as Majid. So I'll say it again. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa azwajihi wa dhurriyyatihi kama sallaita ala إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما صليت على إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وأزواجه وذريته كما باركت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So again, if you add Sayyidina Muhammad out of adab, that's okay. Obviously, it's not going to be in the narrations, but if you add it out of adab, the scholars have said that that's fine. The Ali means family. That's in one of the narrations, but it's not in the other one. So that's why I put it in parentheses, and this is what Sheikh Sadiq had told us. So I put that in there just to be, because it's more precise, more inclusive. So these are some of the recitations in the prayer, and then inshallah, and the Salat Ibrahimiyya again. You can do, if somebody did any kind of salawat in the second sitting, that suffices. Any kind of salawat, that suffices. So they don't have to do this particular form. And there's there's difference of opinion. Is the salah on the Prophet ﷺ, is it a sunnah or is it a fadila? But in any case, any form you do, it suffices. So, any questions, inshallah? This is going to be more recommended, but... if anybody has any questions, otherwise that's all I wanted to give today. Inshallah, I wanted to make it a short class, and whoever has not memorized it can do so. And if anybody wants the meaning, I can actually give them sort of a rough, a general meaning of some of the recitations, because that actually, it helps to focus on the prayer if you have the meaning. So somebody can text me with that. Jazallahu anna sayyidina sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ma'ahu ahlu. Jazallahu anna sayyidina sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ma'ahu ahlu. Jazallahu anna sayyidina sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ma'ahu ahlu. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Jazakallah khairan for attending. Jazakallah khair.